Beneath the canopy of a tropical forest, the air hangs thick with heat and the scent of green. A slow rustle stirs among the leaves, followed by a ripple of motion along the forest floor. A single fragment of leaf, fresh and wet with sap, moves as though carried by an invisible hand. Then another, and another. Soon the ground is alive with a living river of green shards, each swaying in unison, vanishing into a dark opening in the earth. Down here, in the shadowed chambers far below our feet, something vast is unfolding. It is not the work of chance. It is not the work of instinct alone. This is a city, a civilization, and it has been here far longer than our own. Its inhabitants work with the precision of machines, yet they are alive. They march without rest, their purpose as ancient as it is mysterious. And at the heart of their underground world, in darkness where no plant can grow, they have built something that should not exist in the wild, a sprawling, cultivated garden. In the quiet earth, away from the chaos above, this empire thrives. It belongs to the leafcutter ants, masters of insect agriculture. Long before humans learned to sow seeds, these insects had already perfected a form of farming. Their chosen crop is not one that grows under the sun. It is a fungus, carefully nurtured in vast subterranean chambers, fed exclusively on freshly cut vegetation. The green shards hauled from the surface are not eaten by the ants themselves. Instead, they are chewed and prepared into mulch, the foundation for the fungus to grow. This fungus is the colony's lifeline, its only source of nutrition, a partnership so refined that neither the ants nor the fungus can survive without the other. The relationship between leafcutter ants and their cultivated fungus is a masterpiece of mutualism, honed over millions of years. The ants' jaws slice through plant matter with astonishing efficiency, their bodies built for the endless relay between surface and nest. Inside, the air is warm and moist, conditions maintained by the colony itself to keep the fungal gardens in perfect health. Every ant knows its role without instruction. Some cut leaves, others carry, others clean, others guard. Deep inside the brood chambers, nurses tend to larvae, feeding them only the freshest fungal strands. And always, the work continues, day and night, dry season and wet. Yet this is not the full story. The deeper mystery lies in how such complex agriculture emerged in creatures with no central leader, no blueprint, no written record. This is not a simple act of food storage, nor the opportunistic use of a ready food source. It is an engineered system, one that arose entirely independently from human innovation. These ants did not learn farming from us. They invented it themselves. In evolutionary terms, the leap is staggering. Agriculture requires foresight, cooperation, and the ability to manipulate an environment for a predictable yield. For humans, it marked the birth of civilization. For leafcutter ants, it emerged tens of millions of years earlier, in a world where mammals were still small and vulnerable. The origins of this behavior remain obscured by deep time, but the scale of it is undeniable. A single mature colony can number in the millions, its underground chambers spanning more than 30 meters, with intricate ventilation systems and waste management to keep the gardens uncontaminated. Each system works flawlessly, as if guided by an unseen architect. The paradox is striking. The ants and their fungus are so completely dependent on one another that neither can survive alone. The fungus cannot exist in the wild. It has been so thoroughly domesticated by the ants that it has lost the ability to spread on its own. The ants, in turn, cannot digest raw plant matter. They rely entirely on the fungus to break it down into nutrients they can use. This closed loop is an evolutionary gamble, a system balanced on the survival of both partners. Yet it has endured for millions of years, and there is more. This agricultural partnership faces constant threats. Competing ant species may raid the gardens. Fungal pathogens can wipe out entire colonies if left unchecked. To defend against such dangers, leafcutter ants have evolved extraordinary countermeasures. Some workers carry colonies of beneficial bacteria on their bodies, secreting antibiotics to suppress harmful fungal strains. This discovery stunned scientists. It meant these ants were practicing a form of pest control long before humans conceived of it. Here, in the damp darkness of the nest, nature is running experiments in sustainable farming at a scale and complexity we are only beginning to understand. Why this behavior evolved at all is still debated. One theory suggests that as tropical forests grew denser, opportunities for protein-rich food became scarcer, and cultivating fungus offered a reliable alternative. Another posits that early ancestors of leafcutter ants may have first gathered decaying plant matter for shelter, only to discover that fungus growing there could be consumed. Over time, natural selection would have favored colonies that actively maintained these fungal patches. A third possibility is that environmental stability, combined with the ants' social structure, created the perfect conditions for agriculture to arise spontaneously. A rare evolutionary convergence with our own history. Yet no single explanation fully captures the precision and endurance of this farming. Insects, after all, are not guided by conscious planning in the way humans understand it. There is no architect, no farmer overseeing the work. And still, the gardens thrive, the harvest continues, and the cycle renews itself with a reliability that rivals our own agricultural systems. When we consider the leafcutter ants, we are forced to confront an unsettling truth. Farming was not a human invention. It was a biological strategy that nature devised long before we appeared. In these underground metropolises, the ants do not just survive. They cultivate, they manage, they protect. Their world runs on cooperation so absolute that individuality disappears, replaced by the pulse of the colony. Somewhere in the soil, a line of green still vanishes into the dark, each fragment carried toward a garden that will never see the sun. The ants have no history books, no myths of origin. And yet, in their unbroken chain of work, they are enacting something as old as the forest itself. A quiet proof that civilization, in its most essential form, is not uniquely ours. It belongs to life itself. And in that silent, ordered darkness, we are not the first farmers. We are only the latest.